Hey guys, today I'm going to do another look at different headphones. This time it's going to be open back headphones. So for you guys who don't know, open back headphones are they're different than the closed kind, right? I think most consumers are familiar with the closed kind of headphones, which is like when you wear them over your ear, the sides are actually closed so they don't let any sound out. They're basically isolating the noise from the environment, and that's what most consumers are familiar with. So in my previous video, when I did a kind of review and comparison of different wireless headphones, those are closed. So those are the kind most people know. You just wear them in public, no one hears what you're listening to, and they're very convenient, right, when you're traveling, when you're outside in public. Now this time we're going to take a look at open back and open air headphones, which is kind of the opposite in a sense. They actually let air through. So that means that people around you can actually listen to what you're listening to. They can hear the sound. And you might be asking, that's not a good thing, right? You know, why would you want that? So these are not really meant for using outside in public, right? When you go outside wearing the over-ear headphones that close back, people can't hear what you're listening to. That's normally, you know, that's what those headphones are for, right? When you go outside and travel, most people use closed headphones for that. These headphones are more meant for at-home listening. So when you're at home, you obviously don't have to worry about other people hearing what you're listening to as much. So that's what these headphones are for. And the trade-off is, you might be wondering, you know, why have that, right? What's the advantage of that if other people can hear what you're listening to? So the advantage is that because you're letting more air into your headphone, you can actually create a bigger soundstage. Soundstage is kind of like the 3D type of effect you hear. It's hard to describe, right? I guess that's the best way I can describe it, is it sounds more 3D and open. So when you let air into your headphone, it sounds more open and wide and spacious, and a lot of audiophiles prefer that. It's just the sound quality is generally better than closed back headphones. I'm not going to generalize and say it's always better, but in general, open air headphones or open back headphones sound better than closed back headphones because they let the air in. It sounds more 3D, more spacious, has a bigger sound stage, and they can improve the audio quality based on that. So yeah, that's the trade-off, right? Is that you can't really use them outside unless you want other people to hear what you're listening to, but at home, that's what these are for, and they generally sound better than closed back headphones. So yeah, we're going to look at different open air, open back headphones today. These headphones are mostly used by audiophiles because, like I said, most consumers probably are looking for headphones to travel with, you know, noise canceling, they can go outside and use. These are mostly for audiophiles who listen to to their music at home, and maybe they don't want to have an expensive pair of speakers, so they choose to go with an open back headphone instead. So we're looking at 5 different models today. By the way, the brands that I choose, the kind of models I choose, is limited to the amount I can get on Amazon Canada that are fulfilled and shipped by Amazon Canada. The reason for this is because I'm not going to keep all of these. I'm just going to choose the ones I like best and keep them, and then I'm going to return the rest. If it's not shipped and fulfilled by Amazon, that makes it a little bit harder to do. If it's like a third-party seller, you got to go through more, a longer process, right? It's going to be more hassle. So I'm only limiting myself to the brands and models that are available on Amazon Canada that are shipped and fulfilled by Amazon, which is honestly not as much, right, as Amazon US. So you might be wondering, like just in my previous video, right, some people might be asking, oh hey, you didn't review like these Master and Dynamics, why didn't you review the AirPods Max? What about the Microsoft Surface headphones? Oh, Denon made a few headphones that are you know, wireless, closed back, why didn't you review those? Or Beyer Dynamic, you know. I didn't know Dali made headphones as well. I mean, I saw that they made the IO4s and IO6s, so they apparently make wireless, like noise canceling over your headphones as well. I didn't take a look at those. I thought Dali was mostly a speaker maker. So yeah, there's some headphone brands and models that I didn't get to check out, but you know, I already reviewed 6 of them, so I think that's already quite a bit in a comparison video, and it was already like way too long anyways. So yeah, I only have 5 headphones here. I don't have easy access to Grottos, so don't ask me about Grottos. They're not easy to get here in Canada. Audis, same thing. I was looking for Audis, and the strange thing is I used to be able to get Audis pretty easily here in Canada, like the LCD ones that I reviewed a few years ago. For some reason, Audis are not that easy to find anymore, and Hi-Fi Man. I really want to get Hi-Fi Man. It's not easy to get in Canada, at least not on Amazon Canada. And AKGs as well. If you're asking about those, yeah, I have to ship that all from the US, which is too much of a hassle. So I'm gonna go over the brands that I did get. So the Sennheiser HD650s. These ones, Senns are you know, a very famous brand in audiophile circles for headphones. So I had to go for the HD650s. These are pretty well-known headphones. They retail for about 400 bucks. They're not a new model or anything. These have been around for a while, but they're kind of like a gold standard when it comes to open back, you know, reference headphones. Now these ones are interesting. These are the Dan Clark Audio Aeon X's. They're a collaboration with Massdrop, and these ones retail for about $430, a little bit more than the Sennheisers. And this is interesting because Dan Clark Audio is not a brand I would expect to be easily available in Canada. Like, they're not as famous as Audis or Hi-Fi Man, but I mean, I found it on Amazon, shipped and fulfilled, so I got them because I never tried Dan Clark Audios before. They're planar magnetic headphones. They're the only planar magnetic headphones in this video, so it'll be interesting to check these out. And then I have the Beyer DT1990 Pros. These are Beyer Dynamics top-of-the-line studio headphones, so I want to check these out. These are $600 US. And then I have Audio-Technica ATH R70x. So these ones are the cheapest at $350, but still Audio-Technica is known for a bang for the buck brand, so I want to check these out in the comparison as well. And then finally I have these big, this one's big, it's the Focal Elexes. These are the most expensive. They're $750 US retail. So, and this is another collaboration with Massdrop. So we're going to look at all of these. They're all open back, open air headphones, and this is going to be more of, you know, of what audiophiles I would say would prefer compared to like the wireless consumer headphones I reviewed in my previous video. So that's it, guys. We're going to do the standard stuff. We're going to do unboxing and then a sound test of all these, and then I'm going to try them out myself and tell you what I think. First up, we have the Audio-Technica ATH R70Xs, which are professional open back reference headphones, what they have here. So yeah, this brand, Audio-Technica, is probably one of my favorite headphone brands because they make pretty affordable headphones, and they're all very nice quality and very well built, and they perform very well for the price. I think Audio-Technica has made many people's first true good quality over-ear headphones. For me, that was the case anyways. My first pair of genuinely nice studio quality over-ear headphones was a pair of Audio-Technica A900s, which cost about, I think, around 100 bucks. So yeah, Audio-Technica makes a lot of really good headphones for the price. Out of this comparison video, these ones are the most affordable. These are $350, so not cheap, but relatively affordable compared to the other headphones in this video. So Audio-Technica generally focuses on giving you very good value. All their headphones very nicely built. They're a Japanese company. They have decades of experience going back, I think, to the 1960s. They've made, they actually started out making phono cartridges, I believe, and they still make phono cartridges now. But yeah, of course, they also make now headphones, microphones, turntables, a lot of other stuff too. My first turntable was actually Audio-Technica's as well. So I think Audio-Technica has been the gateway for a lot of audiophiles. Yeah, just generally very nice entry-level to mid-level brand, I'd say, for most people. So let's take a look at these. I have not tried these headphones out. It's been a while since I've tried an Audio-Technica device, actually. I think the last ones I've tried were with their noise canceling, the Quiet Point noise canceling headphones, but that was back in 2014. So a long time ago since I've tried out an Audio-Technica headphone. All right, so you can read the... Oh man, this text is actually, I'll read it here. You guys probably can't see it well, but it says it's their first professional open back reference headphone, along with the M70X. I don't know what the difference, M70, R70. I think the M70 is probably the closed one. This is the open back, since we're looking at open back headphones. They comprise a flagship professional headphone lineup. Their 3D wing support system has been improved, incorporated to provide prolonged comfort for continuous use. And they have a proprietary driver unit, the culmination of 40 years of headphone design. They have high efficiency magnets, pure alloy magnetic circuit design, reduced distortion, ensure accurate high frequency response, carbon composite resin, acoustically transparent aluminum honeycomb mesh, breathable fabric ear pads, and let's see, feather lightweight, only 210 grams, with robust construction, unique dual-sided detachable locking cable. Okay, yeah, so that's what it says right there. You guys probably can't see it on the video very well, so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is a big box. Actually, this design reminds me of AKG's headphones, and I think that's a good name to bring up because AKG, I think, is probably the main competitor to Audio-Technica in terms of the price and the industry they're going for. So Audio-Technica is known for making kind of professional studio type of headphones for consumers and professionals, and AKG does the same, and pretty much they compete in the same price range, like the $100 to $200 price range. Both of them make affordable, very good quality, good value headphones for the money. And yeah, like, unfortunately I don't have AKGs to compare because Audio-Technicas I can get like pretty easily, I think, from Amazon up here in Canada, but AKGs a little bit harder to get from Amazon. I can get them from third-party sellers, but I want to get something that's shipped and sold by Amazon. So that's AKG is a little bit harder to get, but it would be nice in the future to do like a comparison between Audio-Technicas and the equivalent priced AKGs. So yeah, this design also reminds me of some of the AKG headphones as well. And of course, Audio-Technica is Japanese. AKG is, well, originally Austrian, but now they've been taken over by Samsung. So yeah, it would be a nice comparison to do in the future though. All right, let's see what's in here. Ooh, look at that. Oh, this is a nice like foam type of padding that they put the headphones into. Let's see what's under this foam. Nope, nothing here, but let's see, do they have anything in the back here? Oh yes, so this actually contains most of the stuff, I guess. Let's see what this has. There we go. So we got ourselves 3.5 millimeter to 1/4 inch here. 1/4 inch is the connector that's used by a lot of studios, you know, professional monitors, mixers, engineers, basically for professional like audio type of interfaces. I think 1/4 is still the most common, so that's why they have a 3.5 millimeter to 1/4 inch. This is an adapter. I think this can be unscrewed for a 3.5. That's better for mainstream use, mainstream consumer use. And then this one here, we get a nice, ooh, soft carrying case. This is very nice. Feels like almost like velvet. This is a very nice feeling carrying case. I mean, I know you guys can't feel it through the video, but this is very, very soft material. It's almost like velvet, very plush. Yeah, very nice plush material. So I'm glad that Audio-Technica gave us a really nice carrying case here. You know, usually some companies just skimp out on the carrying case, but yeah, Audio-Technica gave us a pretty nice one here, especially for the price. And then here is the registration card, warranty and stuff like that. I think that's it. So pretty impressive. Gave us like a nice carrying case, and yeah, these sets of cables I'll need. So yeah, this nice little foam pad here to protect the headphones. Pretty nice. The headphones themselves, let's take a look. So this is what they look like. They're open air headphones. Basically all the headphones in this comparison video, we're looking at open air headphones, open back headphones. And I'm curious to see what the sound quality is like from these guys. Yeah, so these are the Audio-Technica ATH R70Xs. Pretty nice looking, very industrial looking. Like I said, doesn't look too different from some of the Sennheiser and AKG models I've seen before. So yeah, very professional looking. But a lot of the headphones we're looking at today are going to be more of the professional looking side, because that's really how audiophile headphones kind of look like. I'm not going to say they, you know, you're not going to see like many audiophile quality headphones like with open air, open backed headphones with like colorful, you know, plastic or something like that. That's the stuff that, you know, Beats does and stuff. You're not going to see like many of the mass consumer stuff. Yeah, none of the Bang & Olufsen, you know, put some like really crazy nice, you know, shiny stainless steel stuff here. Nope. With these audiophile headphones, I think, yeah, they're just looking to make a statement for professionals, right? So they look like professional music and audio equipment, so that's what they are, and very pretty light, I'd say. I think this would be pretty comfortable to wear as well, because they got these nice wings up here. I like that. So they seem comfortable. The pads seem like they're not like the thickest pads I've seen. I mean, the Beyer Dynamics, those, the DT77 Pros and the 990 Pros, I mean, those have amazing ear cups, padding, right? But these are just okay. A decent amount of padding, like better than Grotto's. I mean, it's not saying much, but obviously Grotto's are known for not having a lot of padding on the ears, and definitely these are better than that. So they should give you some decent amount. Not as much as Beyer Dynamics, but yeah, should be decent and comfort level. And this is some nice little metal up here. So yeah, but overall very light, surprisingly light for what it is. So cool, I'll check this out, and it needs the proprietary, is it 3.5 millimeter? I think it's 3.5 millimeter, not proprietary. Shouldn't be. Anyways, 3.5 millimeter connector cables to 1/4 inch, which I think should also be able to adapt into a 3.5 millimeter. So we'll test these out. But yeah, these are the Audio-Technica ATH R70Xs. Very professional looking headphones, surprisingly light. Gave us a nice few extras. So as expected of Audio-Technica, you should be able to get some pretty good value out of their headphones. All right, next up we got the Sennheiser HD650s, which really should need no introduction because Sennheiser has made probably some of the most popular and well-known open back or open air headphones for the consumer and professional markets. So the HD650s are well known. They've been on the market for many years. These ones still retail for about $400. So yeah, let's take a look. These are just oldies but goodies. You always got to have Sennheiser in the mix. As a company, I mean, Sennheiser has been there for decades. They're a private company from Germany, very well respected in both the consumer space and the audiophile space. I mean, they make more consumer-like headphones like the Momentums. They make true wireless earbuds, and they also go really high into the audiophile space. Right. The herders is what Dank Pods call these, but the HDs are pretty well known. You can go up even higher, right, into stuff with like the Orpheus, like tens of thousands of dollars. Like Sennheiser has done some pretty crazy stuff, so they make some super high-end headphones as well. Yeah, nothing in the back, very simple, and generally their design is very industrial looking. I mean, maybe it's a German thing, right? The whole German engineering thing, they like to keep things no nonsense, just make their products look industrial looking, just keep it, you know, no nonsense like that. Just care about the audio quality is the most important thing. Just focus on that. Here are the headphones, and you get a little booklet here. Okay, high definition open back headphones, and okay, this is the quick start guide probably. Yeah, I don't like these map style guides. That's what Dank Pods calls them as well. Map style. I don't like this map style. It's like once you basically fold this out, it's so hard to put it back into this shape. So I don't like that. But anyways, it's the typical quick start guide. And since these headphones are not like special Bluetooth wireless headphones, they don't have any special electronics in them. They're, you know, they just need a cable, and you plug them up into an amp, and then yeah, it shouldn't require that much instructions. We got an adapter here for a 1/4 inch. 3.5. 1/4 inch is of course used by a lot of professionals, so in studios and stuff like that, so it's useful to have an adapter. Got that. Okay, the Herder 650s. Let's take a look. All right, first impressions are, I mean, yeah, this is a very, very classic open air design, open back design right here, right? Sennheiser has pretty much set the standard for open back headphones, right? Yeah, I mean, they're probably have some of the most popular open back headphones on the market. They're very well known for them, HD650s. The HD800s, I think the HD600s actually, you know, very well respected as well, have been there for a very long time. Nowadays, the HD800s are pretty popular as well, very expensive. I think my friend has them. But yeah, they make some pretty well respected headphones in this space. So Sennheiser, yeah, pretty well trusted brand name among audiophiles. Very nice ear cups here. Definitely look a lot bigger than the ones on the Audio-Technicas, that's for sure. So This, I think, should be able to, I mean, you should be able to wear this for many, many hours, because, yeah, these look very comfortable. This part up here, I'm not so sure. I think I like the wing design a little bit better. Actually, the Audio-Technica wing design was very, very comfortable for me when I used their A900s. So these ones don't look as comfortable, but we'll see. And then they actually use, they don't use a 3.5 millimeter. They use some kind of proprietary connector here, it looks like. It's not 3.5 millimeter. It doesn't look like USB either. So they're using some kind of proprietary connector here. I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to like do damage to them or anything, but they don't look like USB and they don't look like 3.5 either. So they're kind of some kind of proprietary connectors there. And then you get the 1/4 inch here, which you can use the adapter here for the 3.5. So yeah, the 1/4 inch is used by a lot of professionals. So yeah, and then you get the 3.5 for more consumer use. Very long cable here. So yeah, I'll definitely test out the Herder 650s. I mean, these are pretty legendary, I would say. The whole HD line is pretty legendary. HD600s, 650s, 800s, they're all pretty legendary. So yeah, that's the Senns. Yeah. All right, next up we have the Beyer DT1990 Pros. You can see another big box here. These ones retail for around $500, $600 US, so more expensive than the Audio-Technicas and Sennheisers. And yeah, these have been out for a few years as well, but very, very well respected. So, you know, they're still selling well. A lot of professionals use them. This company, Beyer Dynamic, if you don't know, maybe they're not quite as well known as Sennheiser because they don't make as many consumer models as Sennheiser does, but still very respected in the audiophile space. Yeah, I mean, I've had the Beyer Dynamic, DT770 Pros, DT990 Pros before. Very, very comfortable headphones. I think that's the number one thing I remember from Beyer Dynamic is that they make headphones that are very comfortable to wear, and they usually require a lot of power to drive them. So they made headphones with very high amount of ohms, like resistance before. So I do remember you need to have a dedicated headphone amp to drive a lot of their headphones, but they sound very good. And they're not like, those models are not too expensive, I'd say. But they do make more expensive models, like they make the Tesla models, right? The T1s or whatever, they go up to $1,000 and like beyond. So yeah, they definitely make some high-end models as well. This, I would say, is definitely one of their high-end models. This one around $500-600. Not as expensive as like the T5P or whatever. Like those are really, the Tesla models are really expensive, but still fairly expensive headphone. This one more meant for the professional market, I'd say, but we're here to test that out and see how reference quality they are. So yeah, let's open them up. So you get this massive case here, massive case. We get okay, you get their guarantee here. So by the way, Beyer Dynamic is a German company, just like Sennheiser. They've also been around for decades, so safe to say they know what they're doing. I love my German engineering, so it's interesting to compare them with Sennheiser. I think both of them compete in the same market, and they're pretty prominent rivals, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say Sennheiser is the bigger company and more well-known, but Beyer Dynamics definitely not a small company either, right? They've also been around for a while, and audiophiles definitely still know of them. DT990 Pros. Yeah, okay, this is just the quick start thing, right? Again, with these kind of headphones, it's just, you don't have many electronics inside of it, like no like Bluetooth or anything like that. You just have pure drivers and analog sound, right? Shouldn't be anything digital or anything going inside. So it shouldn't take as much, like, you should be able to just plug a cable up to them. And sure, you'll need a headphone amp to drive them, but you just got to know what that resistance value is, and then plug up the headphone amp. You should be able to drive them well. There shouldn't be any kind of fancy stuff you got to do. No batteries to charge or anything. All right, so yeah, this case is huge. Look how big this case is. Barely fits on my camera here. Huge case. This is not something you'd want to bring, by the way, to like in your backpack. It's like you'll basically take up all the space in your backpack. So not portable, guys. Just something I got to mention for these open air, open back headphones. They're not that portable. They're meant for home listening. Okay. Studio use, home listening. Okay, here we go. I mean, look how big these are. Wow. These are massive. What's this? Oh, there's extra. Wow, they give you extra cups. Huh. So nice of them. Okay. They give you some nice extra cups here. Yep. And nice little extra pouch here. What's inside this pouch? Coily cable. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is now we're dealing with hardcore stuff now. Hardcore audiophile stuff now. You got the coily cables, the 1/4 inch jack, which is an adapter, I believe. The 3.5 inch should be right here. Yep. Okay. Gold plated, of course. So just like the others, coily cord. That's cool. And another one. Oh, they use proprietary connectors. Okay, so just like I guess Sennheiser also used this proprietary connector too. This is this a mini XLR? Okay, maybe not proprietary, but still, it's not a common connector. It's a mini XLR connector. Wow, it's XLR. Okay, and so you got a mini XLR to 1/4 or 3.5 millimeter cable here, and then you get a coily one. You got a non-coily one, a straight cable, and you get a coily cable. Oh, interesting. I wonder the coily cable should be more capacitance, right? Since it's actually longer technically. There should be more capacitance, which should, I guess, reduce a lot of the highs. So usually people, I mean, there's pros and cons to using coily cables, but using coily cables, since it has more capacitance, I would think would reduce the highs. But we'll see. I haven't tested them out. But these are the headphones themselves. I mean, wow, look at these. So professional looking. Wow. DT1990 Pro is made in Germany. I wonder if the Senns were made in Germany too. Not sure. They didn't say made in Germany. These ones are definitely made in Germany. They're more expensive too. Mini XLR connectors. That's when you know these headphones mean business. Mini XLR connectors right here. Wow. They mean business. Balanced. These cups, super comfortable. I mean, I've had Beyer Dynamics before, and yeah, I think that's the thing I really remember the most from them. It's not just the sound, but the comfort. I mean, you can wear Beyer Dynamics. You can wear Beyers like all day long, basically. They're super, super comfortable to wear. Yeah, nice padding up here. So I think these are probably going to be more comfortable to wear than the Sennheisers and probably the Audio-Technicas as well. Although Audio-Technicas are also comfortable to wear, but definitely compared to the Senns, these definitely look more comfortable to wear. Yeah, I mean, Beyers have always been, compared to Senns, I mean, they're different, but I would say the strength of a lot of the Beyer headphones at the comfort level is like you can wear them for a very long time. Yeah, Sennheiser is also going to be comfortable, not quite on the same level as Beyers, right? I mean, you can just tell here. Look at the Beyers compared to the Senns. You can just tell here the Beyer is going to be more comfortable. You can wear them for longer. Not to say anything bad about the Senns. I mean, just comparing, just holding it, the quality of the Beyer seems higher too. Of course, this is also more expensive, but yeah, the Senns, like this is made of like, it feels like it's cheaper. It's made of like some, I don't know, plastic or something like that here, but maybe it's not plastic, but it definitely feels lighter and more flimsy compared to the Beyers. The Beyers feel a lot more well built. I mean, look at this material here is, wow, it's yeah, this is like steel. I mean, it's like metal right here. So this is not metal. Yeah, it's definitely, it's not plastic, I don't think, but it's not metal either. So it definitely feels lighter and a little bit more flimsy probably. So not to say anything bad about Sennheiser, of course. We all know Sennheiser is legendary too. So yeah, we're going to compare these guys as well. But for sure, I am certain that the Beyers will be more comfortable. Just look at this. And you can replace these ear pads, right? You can, you can just slides off just like that. So, all right, guys. So yeah, that's the Beyer Dynamic DT1990 Pros, and we'll definitely be testing these out as well. I'm excited. And up next, we have the Dan Clark Audio Aeons. This is actually a collaboration with Massdrop, and you'll find this one in the next headphone will be both collaborations with Massdrop, actually. But this retails for $430 US, and it is the only planar magnetic headphone in this video. I actually wanted to get more planar magnetic headphones here, but yeah, it's not that easy to find different brands. Like I said, I have to go for the brands that are actually shipped and fulfilled by Amazon. Canada, and Amazon Canada has a lot lower selection than Amazon US. Like I really wanted to get some Audis, I wanted to get some Hi-Fi Man. I couldn't get them very easily here in Amazon Canada. So Dan Clark Audio is interesting because it's actually not as big of a brand as Audis or Hi-Fi Man. So it surprised me that this headphone was actually more available to me, which is very interesting. So a bit of background about Dan Clark Audio. This is my first pair of Dan Clark Audios. I've never had any, never listened to them before, but I have heard of them, of course. So this is my first experience with Dan Clark Audios. Never listened to any of their headphones before. I've definitely heard about them though. Dan Clark Audio is like this small operation. They used to be called Mr. Speakers. Then they changed their name to Dan Clark Audio because Dan Clark is the founder of the company. And they focus on planar magnetic headphones. I wouldn't say they're as big of a name as Audis or Hi-Fi Man when it comes to planar magnetics, but they are fairly, I would say, well known among audiophiles. So yeah, they're still reasonably well known, just not as much as probably Audis or Hi-Fi Man is. I still am interested to hear how they sound though, because their headphones have gotten some pretty good reviews as well. I have listened to Audis before, never listened to any Hi-Fi Mans, and this is my first time listening to some Dan Clarks. So yeah, let's take a look. There's actually not much here. Designed and manufactured in San Diego by Dan Clark Audio. Okay, so it's actually made in the US. Huh. Yeah, not many headphones are made in the US, but I guess these are actually not super high-end or anything. They're $430, which puts them in the mid-range actually. So I'm kind of surprised they're made in the US. All right, let's take a look. All right, so you get a carrying case here. And then you get this user guide here. It says, yeah, this is the Mass Drop Dan Clark Audio collaboration here, Aeon X. That's what it's called. So it's 62 by 34 millimeter Dan Clark Audio design, single-ended planar magnetic. If you guys don't know what planar magnetics are, I mean, you can easily research this. I'm not very good at explaining this, but most headphones are dynamic drivers, which means they have the same type of drivers as a traditional like speaker. So yeah, when air is being pushed, the voice coil moves back and forth. With a planar magnetic, it's a more complicated design. They have like different sheets of like metal, I believe, and then they vibrate it to create the energy. It's kind of like in between a electrostatic and like a dynamic driver apparently, but you can research more about it. Yeah, it's a very different technology than traditional headphones. And like I said, the biggest names in planar magnetic, probably Audis, and then California company, and Hi-Fi Man, which is a Chinese company, and Dan Clark Audios. So these are probably the three most famous planar magnetic, well, there's definitely more headphone brands that make planar magnetics, but these are probably the three big ones in the audiophile industry. Meze Audio as well. Meze Audio makes a high-end pair of headphones called the Empyreans, which is also really popular amongst audiophiles as well, and those are also planar mags. And I haven't tried Meze Audio either. One of these days I will try a Hi-Fi Man and a Meze Audio, just never got the chance to try them. Yeah, really interested in the Susvaras from Hi-Fi Man and the Empyrean from Meze. Also the Audis LCD5s and LCD-XCs, I think they're called. I think those are Audis' newest or highest end headphones right now. So yeah, it'll be nice to try those out, but those are really high end. So I'll probably never really be able to buy one or afford one. So I'll just have to go to a headphone bar one day and check those out. Titanium memory metal headband, master, okay. So yeah, headphone fit adjust attaching cable, okay. They use Hirose style connectors. I don't know what that means. Okay, interesting. And there's their warranty stuff. They're in San Diego. They're actually made in San Diego. I had no idea. They actually, oh yes, this actually says enjoy on it. Let me open the box, that's cool. These tuning material allowing you to customize your headphone sound to your taste. Insert the pads in the well, okay. So I guess when you add these different foam pads in, they'll change the tuning a bit. You might get more bass, you might get more highs. It might be similar to how, you know, when you, or maybe you might not know, when you buy IEMs, they come with different types of tips. They might come with silicone tips, they might come with compli foam tips or something, and they actually change the tuning depending on what kind of tips that you use in your IEMs. So this is something that's like this except for open back headphones now. Increase down. Yeah, over-ear headphones, I mean. So white felts burn in as the fabric settles down 1-2 days of normal use will open up the sound of the felts. Okay, White felt compared with back foam. So yeah, I guess depending on whether you use felt or foam, it'll change the sound of the headphone. Interesting. Definitely have to experiment a little bit with that. All right, and here's the headphones. Here's the case. The case is actually it's okay sized. I mean, compared to the Beyer Dynamics that I unboxed before, oh man, yeah, these are pretty reasonably sized, I guess. Dan Clark Audio, right? My first experience with Dan Clark Audios. Check it out. All right, and here's how they look like. It comes with carrying case here, a little compartment here. I mean, and you get, this is what they call Hirose style connectors here. This is what Hirose style connectors are. They're mini XLRs, I think. They're basically like they're basically the same thing as the Beyer Dynamic DT1990 Pros used. Yeah, so they're like the mini XLR connectors, and they terminate in a 1/4 inch connector. Of course, you can also unscrew it. It's just an adapter plug. So you can use the 3.5 millimeter here as well, which is probably what I'm going to use for to connect to my DAP. Yeah, so it comes with the mini XLR connector. I guess they're called Hirose connectors, Hirose style. All right, and this is what the headphones look like. So you can tell they're open air headphones, and they use planar magnetic drivers, which means they operate a little bit differently than all the other headphones in this video, which are all dynamic driver. So this is interesting. I mean, I'll just see how comfortable this is. This doesn't look as comfortable as the Beyers for sure, and then maybe even the Audio Technicas might be more comfortable. It doesn't seem as comfortable, but I'll have to try it on and see. Definitely seems pretty flexible in terms of, yeah, very flexible actually in terms of your head size. You can see you can adjust pretty easily. Very, very flexible. Nice. It's like elastic almost. That's cool. These definitely feel comfortable, the earpads. Now, I guess this is what they said, the felt here, if you change them out, it'll actually change the tuning, and then we'll have to see how different it sounds. But yeah, here's what it looks like. The Dan Clark Audio Aeon X's. Very interesting flow, and I'm interested to hear how this technology compares. It's been a while since I did another video before, maybe 2 years ago, comparing Audi's LCD ones versus the focal Elex. So yeah, it's been a while since I've worn a planar mag headphone. The last time was probably that LCD one, and I was a little bit underwhelmed by those, honestly, the LCD ones, because they're portable, so they're like definitely smaller. And then I had the EL8s as well, with another pair of planar mags from Audi's. So yeah, the last time I tried planar magnetic headphones, probably the Audi's, like 2 years ago, LCD ones. So this one, yeah, I'm interested to hear how it sounds like, going back to planar magnetics. All right, so that's the Dan Clark Audio Aeon X's. I want to make a correction, guys. These are not mini XLR cables. These are, well, they call them Hirose style connectors, but now I know why. It's because they got 4 pins here. So XLR inputs would have 3 pins. These actually have 4. So just want to correct myself. Yeah, so they're definitely not XLR inputs, mini XLRs, because yeah, these have 4 pins, which yeah, basically make them pretty unique, I'd say. It's the first time I've seen these. They call them Hirose style connectors. So I got to correct myself there. And last but not least, I have the Focal Elexes. So these are a collaboration with Massdrop as well, just like the Dan Clark Audios. These ones are more expensive though. These cost about $750 US. So they're the most expensive headphones in this video. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to try these out actually. I'm a huge fan of Focals. A few years ago, I did another video on another pair of Focals, the Elex. So I did an unboxing of the Elex and compared it to the Audi's LCD ones, which are around the same price I paid for them. I compared the two. I like the Focals a lot more. The LCD ones, I guess because of their size, just didn't sound as big to me. The Focals had better soundstage, better clarity and details, just everything about the Focals. The Elex were better than the LCD ones, and better than the EL8s as well. So yeah, Focals beat out the Audis for me in the last comparison video. So I was excited to get these pair of Focals. I actually bought this online for about 500 bucks. So I saved a few $100s, I would say, off the retail price. And yeah, that's why I got them actually here. I don't think I would pay full price for them. But at the price I got it for, I'm pretty excited. So yeah, a little bit of background about Focal. They're a French company. They're started out with loudspeakers, I guess in a similar story to Bowers & Wilkins. Just like Bowers & Wilkins, actually I think they're actually owned by the same company now. But just like Bowers & Wilkins, they started out making loudspeakers, and then they gradually got more into headphones later on. So yeah, now they're equally known for both, I would say. They're equally known for loudspeakers and headphones, and their high-end headphones like the Utopia gets, you know, basically universal acclaim, right? So they're very well known by audiophiles in the high-end headphone industry. So I am excited about these guys. You can see how big this box is. This is probably the biggest box out of all of them. I mean, yeah, the Beyers had pretty big box too, and the Audio Technicas, but these have the biggest box out of all of them. Pretty much nothing else around the box. It's just a plain black box with mass drop and Focal on it. All right, guys, ready for the spectacular unveiling here. Ooh, here we go. Oh man. All right, these are what the headphones look like here. You can see this, it's well protected by foam here, but yeah, I'd say this is a similar unboxing experience to my previous Focals, which is the Elex. Yeah, I think Focals always used like really nice big boxes like this, and they look really, really heavy duty. I mean, yeah, just look at the cables here, right? Let's check out the cables. All right, so this is, looks like these are the headphone connectors. They look similar to 3.5 millimeter connectors, but these are the headphone connectors here. And then it's a 1/4 inch connector jack here. I'd had to put an adapter to make it 3.5, but yeah, I would say this is for like a typical headphone amp, or you know, some kind of studio or whatever. Use the 1/4 connector a lot. So if you want to use it for I guess more typical consumer devices like a DAP or like an MP3 player or something like that, or your smartphone, you'd probably have to use a 3.5 millimeter adapter here. And then the other cable here, okay, same headphone connectors, but this one is an XLR type of connector. Okay, so this is like a balanced XLR connector. Okay, so you have unbalanced cable, which is the 1/4 inch jack. Can also be converted to 3.5, and then you have, which is unbalanced as well. And then you have the balanced connection here, which is a balanced XLR cable. So some high-end headphone amps have balanced connections. I don't have any headphone amps that use an XLR input, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are, you know, if they have high-end headphone amps at home, then they might actually have balanced connectors. And in that case, you know, balanced connections are supposed to reduce noise. So I think a balanced connector is probably better if you have a piece of equipment that uses it. All right, so yeah, I'm going to use the unbalanced because I don't have any headphone amps or any equipment that use the balanced XLR connector. Oh wait, oh, in the middle here is this is the actual small booklet that you get here. Well, I think what you notice about these more high-end headphones is that they come with relatively little paperwork compared to the more mass consumer stuff, right? Like I did a video on my wireless headphones as well, all the wireless headphones comparing, right? And they came with a lot more paperwork than these headphones do. These are more high-end headphones, but less paperwork. I guess because they're technically simpler to operate, right? They don't have as much like electronic technology inside of it. Yeah, they have more like analog technology, I would say. So less digital electronic stuff going on, so less paperwork for these guys. All right, here's a manual. There's a, yeah, so Focal's more traditionally known for their speakers. Like, I mean, these are really high-end speakers, like thousands and thousands of dollars. It's made in France. These headphones are made in France, by the way. Excellence, innovation. Let's see, okay. All right, let's look at the headphones themselves. Okay, here it is. Like I said, I haven't put the connectors on yet, but you guys can see what they look like. Honestly, they don't look all that different from my previous Focals. My previous Focals were the Elex. They are lower end than this. This is a $750 pair of headphones. And the Elex actually cost more than that when it first came out, but they're older too. So right now, if you go online, These you can find online for, I got these for 500. You can also find them for around, I think 500, 600 bucks online. The Elex, I think I got them for 400 because they're older. So yeah, these are technically more higher end than the Elex are, even though the Elex had more higher MSRP because the Elex are older. So yeah, these should sound higher end compared to my previous focals. They look pretty similar though. I mean, the design of the focals, I don't think are all, at least from the outside, they don't look that different compared to Focal's previous products. So yeah, this is the Elex. You can see here, made in France is basically what this says. Dynamic driver. Like I said, the Dan Clark Audio Aeons are the only ones that are planar mags, but the rest of these headphones are all dynamic drivers. Like I said, not anything like, it's just different. It doesn't mean that one technology is better than the other, right? We still have very high-end, like Focal is like a good example, very high-end headphones that still use dynamic drivers. So it doesn't mean necessarily that planar mags are better. It's just a different tech, but traditional dynamic drivers can sound pretty good too if designed the right way, like Focals have. This is pretty nice padding here. Again, not sure if it's going to compare to the Beyer Dynamics, which Beyers have always been the most comfortable for me, but it should be more comfortable than the Senns. I think Sennheiser is not really known for comfort that much. Definitely not as much as Beyer. And yeah, it'll be interesting compared to the Audio Technicas and the Dan Clark Audios for the comfort, and the pads seem pretty nice too. Yeah, all these headphones have pretty good padding actually for the ear cups. I mean, they're not grottos or anything. If I got grottos, then those would actually be kind of, the padding is a little bit thinner on grottos and definitely not this level. But grottos are not known to be comfortable headphones. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks very well built, and yeah, it's very high end. I mean, these are the most expensive out of the whole bunch. The Beyer Dynamics are the second most expensive, but these are the most expensive. So yeah, I'll definitely check them out. But these are the Focal Elexes. So yeah, they're the only ones that don't come with any kind of 3.5mm adapter. So I actually have to look around and use my own, or I can use one that I got from the other ones. But yeah, that's something. It's also the only one that comes with this kind of bounce connector here, the XLR. Yeah. All right, let's test them out. guys, so you just heard the sound test. That was me playing these headphones through my microphone. But I also want to do a kind of direct listening test. I'm just going to listen to them myself and tell you guys in real time what I think. So I have my Fluence Audio RT85 record player here, and I hook it up to a Fozy Audio Box X4. This is a tube phono preamp. This is both a headphone amp and it's a phono preamp, and it's only $60 US. Isn't that amazing? Like previously I had my Shit Audio Valley 2s and my Cambridge Audio Solo preamp. That cost like $500 US together. This costs 60. So I know it's one of those cheap Chinese boxes online, but it should be still pretty good. I mean, it's got these came with 2 tubes already. So it's a tube headphone amp and a phono preamp for only 60 bucks in one box. It's pretty great. It's got, yeah, power volume here, treble bass, a headphone jack right here. Sadly, this headphone jack is not a 1/4 inch. It's 3.5 millimeter, which means I need to use an adapter for some of these. But that's fine. In the back, we have a line input, and then you have output here, the RCA, line level output, and then you have a phono. This is a moving magnet only, of course, input, and then the ground right here. So yeah, I'm going to be using this tube headphone amp and phono preamp to test it out. This Fozy Audio. I can't believe 60 bucks. Something like this is amazing. Alright, I'll be using these 2 albums. I think should be good enough. So Carpenters, of course, legendary for vocal tracks, right? I'm going to be testing these for vocals, which is really going to test the mid-range response of these headphones. And then I'll be using Earth, Wind & Fire's Greatest Hits to test kind of the instruments and stuff like that. This will test like the low end and the high end as well. So a lot of instruments on Earth, Wind & Fire tracks. So I think these 2 albums are good ones to test. Alright? Okay, so which headphone test first? Let's do the Audio Technicas first. The kind of the low end, I guess, the cheapest. And find which one's that? Left to right. Okay. These are very comfortable. Audio Technicas have always made very comfortable headphones. So these are very comfortable. And yeah, I wish this was like a 1/4. This had a 1/4 inch input, but let's use the 3.5. Okay. And then we're gonna see, the tubes are actually gonna light up. Let's see. Maybe it's not so see, but it's easier to see in the dark, I guess. But these tubes will light up, being powered. And then I'm gonna start off my record player here. This is why I'm wearing gloves, is because I'm handling records. Okay, these headphones are very good for the price. 350 bucks, and obviously the soundstage is better than any closed headphone. Okay, this is an open back. Generally the mid-range is pretty good in this. Okay, so the Audio Technicas I think are very, very good for the price. 350 bucks, sounds a lot more spacious than any closed back headphones. Very, very comfortable. Yeah, like Audio Technicas have always made very comfortable headphones. And yeah, generally just pretty decent. It's not like super detailed or anything like that, just okay. So yeah, this being the cheapest, I can't be too hard on it. But yeah, it's just okay. Most people, they buy this, they'll enjoy it. It's got a nice mid-range. Yeah, so that's the Audio Technica ATH R70Xs. It's just pretty decent for what it is. Okay, nothing too special about it. Next up, I'm going to be trying the Sennheiser HDR650s. Okay, these are definitely not as comfortable as the Audio Technicas. Yeah, the Sennheisers kind of clamp down in your head, and it's not that comfortable. I mean, it's okay, like you could listen to, definitely I'm not saying it's going to hurt your head or anything, but it's definitely got like a bigger clamping force on your head, so it's not as comfortable as the Audio Technicas. Alright. Okay. These are very good headphones. Yeah. By the way, I've been testing with both the Carpenters and the Earth, Wind & Fire records. I just skipped some, I skipped me putting the other record on and stuff to listen to because, that would make the video a little bit longer. And yeah, these headphones, the Sennheiser HD650s, I think these are legendary headphones. They've been out for quite a while, and I think most people are familiar with the HD600s or 650s, and for good reason. It's because these are very neutral headphones. They're not like, don't think it's totally flat. There's no like totally flat headphone, okay? But this is as neutral as it gets, right? There's no emphasis on any frequency, like bass, mids, highs, no particular emphasis on any frequency. It's just relatively neutral everywhere. Very, very good for audiophiles who prefer like reference sounding. You might say reference sounding, or studio engineers who don't, you know, when they're mixing and stuff like that, they don't want anything overemphasized, right? They just want to listen to how the music actually is, and that's exactly what the Sennheiser HD650s are. Just very, very neutral. No emphasis on any one frequency, just plays you back the music as it was recorded. Very nice, and it's very detailed. And soundstage is definitely better than the Audio-Technicas and more detailed than the Audio-Technicas. So I think for $50 more than the Audio-Technicas, these are probably what I would go with compared to the Audio-Technicas, because I think the Audio-Technicas have a bit of a mid-range push, but these ones, very neutral, flat, and yeah, it's bigger soundstage, more detailed. So very, very good headphones. So those are the Sennheisers. Now I actually changed these for every headphone, but this time I will show you that I am actually listening to both the Carpenters and Earth, Wind & Fire records. So you guys know I'm testing both the vocals and the instruments. So I got the records with both. Okay, so this is Earth, Wind & Fire. Alright, this time we'll do Earth, Wind & Fire first. I'm going to use the next step up in price, which is the Dan Clark Audio Aeons. These are $430, $30 more than the Sennheisers. Which way do these go actually? This is a very flexible headphone in terms of the fit here. More comfortable than the Sennheisers, not as comfortable as the Audio-Technicas. And they feel a little bit loose on my head. But, yeah, anyways, still got it. And let's check out Earth, Wind & Fire here. Oh, these ones need a bit more power. Okay, so these headphones, these are the only planar magnetics out of all these, and I would say it's pretty similar to the Sennheisers in terms of the soundstage, the detail retrieval, resolution-wise. The Senns may have a bit better mids, but these ones have better highs, and I think that's the main thing. That's the main difference I can hear between the Senns and the Dan Clarks, is that the Aeons, the highs are very detailed, very crisp, dynamic. So if you listen to, yeah, like instrumental beats and like pop tracks, stuff like that, with a lot of highs, then I think you really appreciate the Dan Clarks. I think the highs are definitely more detailed and more dynamic than the Sennheisers. It feels more dynamic too, just because this is not as neutral as the Sennheisers are, right? So because it's not as neutral, it pushes up the highs, so it sounds more dynamic and lively. The Senns might have better mids, so I'm going to say it depends on what you want. I think these two are both about the same, equal in terms of overall sound quality, the Sennheisers and the Dan Clark Aeons. So the HD650s, more neutral, the Aeons, more lively, the highs are more detailed. The bass is about the same on both, so just pick your sound signature. I think overall sound quality is the same, just the sound signature is a bit different. Alright, next up, the next most expensive is going to be the Beyer Dynamics. So let's check out these guys. Alright, $600. We're moving up quite a bit in price now. Alright. Now, the Beyer Dynamics, as I expected, the most comfortable headphone out of all these. There's no contest. It's just way more comfortable than any of these. Like, the Audio-Technica is probably second. The Aeons were in Sennheisers about, yeah, they're not as comfortable as the other guys, but the Audio-Technica is probably second. The Beyer Dynamics by far the most comfortable. I could sleep with these on. That's how comfortable they are. And that's the same with all Beyers, I find. So all Beyer Dynamic headphones in general, very comfortable. Very nice. Wow. Alright. These headphones, so far, in terms of the detail, soundstage, resolution, the best out of all I've tested so far. I mean, wow. I love the soundstage. It just sounds huge. A lot of detail, and I like the fact that this is not like, it's not a neutral pair of headphones, okay? It's not as neutral as a Senn. This is more like a soft V curve, like a soft V shape. And what that means is that the bass is pushed up a bit, and the highs are also pushed up a bit. And the mids are a little bit recessed. It's a little bit scooped. Some people might like that, some people might not. But yeah, the mids are a bit scooped on this. I think it's fine. I don't mind that. The bass is pushed up a bit, but it's done tastefully. It's not bloated or anything like that. Like the Sony 1000 and the Bose noise canceling 700s I did in my previous review, that bass is pushed up so much that it feels a little bit bloated. The bass is not bloated, it's done tastefully here. So it's just pushed up a little bit, but you can hear that bass. And the treble is very detailed as well, but not, you know, it's not like super harsh or anything. So I'm really liking these. This is so far my favorites. These are just a level above the Senns, Dan Clark's, and Audio-Technica's in terms of everything, detail, soundstage. Just the signature, if you like neutral, you still might prefer the Sennheisers. Just, yeah, these ones, soft V curve shape. Alright, last but not least, we're going to test the Focals, the most expensive out of all these, $750. Alright. Nice. Yeah, so these Focals are also very, very good. So I think the Focals and the Beyers are probably the best out of the group in terms of soundstage, detail retrieval, resolution. It's got the best out of all these headphones. So of course the two most expensive headphones, maybe not surprisingly, have the best overall sound. Now it depends whether or not what kind of signature you like. So for the Beyers, like I said, it's a soft V shape, so it's got a bit more bass and pushes up the trebles a bit. The mids are a little bit recessed. The Focals, a little bit more neutral. I guess I looked up a review of this. It says it's a souped up version of the HD650s, like a powered up version. I kind of agree with that. It's basically what the 650s are in terms of neutrality. Not as neutral as the 650s, but it's got more of the neutral sound signature, but it's pushed up everything, like the detail, soundstage is bigger. It's like a super version of the HD650s. Yeah, everything's just sounds bigger, wider, spacious. Details, you can hear more of it, more clarity. So if you like the more neutral sound signature of the 650s, I think the Focal Elexes will be pretty nice. The only thing about the Elexes is I find that the trebles, actually, the highs are a little bit harsh for me if I listen to certain tracks. Like on Carpenter's is fine, but if on Earth, Wind, and Fire, like other tracks that have like a lot of hi-hats or cymbals, the highs, it's a little bit too harsh sometimes. Like it can sound fatiguing. Like if I keep listening to it for a long period of time, it might be fatiguing. So it's a little bit too harsh for me, a little bit sharp, and a little bit of sibilance sometimes too on certain tracks. So that's the only thing about the Focal Elexes, is the highs are a little bit too much for me sometimes. So I can tell the highs are definitely pushed up on the Focals, whereas the bass, mids, and everything a little bit more neutral. So yeah, really depends on the sound signature you guys like. So overall, I have this to say about all these headphones. The Audio-Technicas, very good for the price, $350. I can't say anything too bad about it because it's the cheapest out of all these guys, but it's a good pair of headphones. It's decent. It's outclassed by all these because, yeah, I mean, this is it just cannot compete with any of these. So nothing bad about Audio-Technica. I don't want to say anything bad about them. They make good, affordable products, And $350, I know it's not cheap for a lot of people, but still, it's the cheapest out of all these, and it's decent for the price. That's all I'm gonna say. It's good enough for a lot of people, but it just doesn't stand up to any of these headphones. These are all just in a league above. Now the Sennheiser HD650s, very neutral pair of headphones. I think these are what most people would consider to be the gold standard and reference for open back audiophile headphones, because yeah, they've been out for a long time. The most neutral out of all these, just everyone preferring a neutral flat frequency, not flat, but you guys know what I mean, like nothing really pushed up. It's just a nice pair of reference sounding headphones, and it's not that expensive. At $400, I mean, I know it's not cheap, but compared to other like high-end open back audiophile headphones, these are pretty good price actually, fairly priced. So yeah, I would say for those of you who really prefer a reference type of neutral signature, a lot of studio engineers might prefer this. These Sennheisers are really good, HD650s. But the soundstage and detail is not the best out of all of them. Actually, if you get the Sennheiser HD800s, I mean, Sennheisers makes a lot of models. They make much more higher-end models than these guys, right? Like the HD800s, right? You can keep going up. Yeah, there's more expensive models than this. But these are pretty neutral. Next up is the Dan Clark Audio Aeons. In terms of the detail and soundstage, pretty similar to the Sennheisers. I think sound quality is pretty similar to Sennheisers. It's only if you like something that has more highs. If you play more music that's like more upbeat, like dance music, pop music, instrumentals, stuff like that, you might prefer the Dan Clark Audio Aeons, because the highs on this are much more detailed than the Sennheisers are. So they sound more lively. They're not as neutral as the Sennheisers, but they sound more lively and dynamic. So yeah, but overall sound quality, similar. And soundstage is similar too. Alright, I'm going to talk the Beyer Dynamics and Focals, the DT1990 1990 Pros and the Focal Elexes. These two are the best sounding headphones of the bunch. Overall, I think they're just a league above all these other guys, and they're the most expensive too. The Beyers are a bit cheaper, $600. You can find them actually online, on eBay or whatever for about $400 actually, so you can find them cheaper. The Focals also $750 MSRP, but you can find them online for about $500. So you can find these guys roughly $200 cheaper online. So that might be good pickups. Both of these are really good headphones. It's really down to the sound signature you guys like, right? So Focals are for people who want a more neutral type of signature. Not as neutral as the HD650s, but overall their sound signature is more balanced, I think. Just the highs are a little bit pushed up, and some people are okay with this, but for me it's a little bit harsh sometimes on certain tracks. It gets a little bit fatiguing, so I don't like the highs as much on the Focals. But everything else is great. The detail, resolution, soundstage, everything is great on these. Just I don't like the highs as much. Some people, I saw some reviews saying that the highs are not that sharp or harsh or whatever, but for me it is. So I guess for some people it's okay. For me it's a little bit harsh or sharp sometimes. The Beyers, to me, these I think, yeah, like I said, the Beyers versus the Focals is a matter of sound signature, but for me it's also comfort as well, and the Beyers are definitely the most comfortable out of all these headphones. The Focals are okay in terms of comfort, but the Beyers just, I could sleep with these on. They're so comfortable, and the sound signature, I like them. Some people don't like the soft V shape. I like the soft V shape. I like the fact that the bass is pushed up a little bit more. The bass is definitely more prominent on the Beyers than the Focals. This means that if you play more dynamic tracks, it sounds more lively, right? So yeah, it's got a little bit of a bass push, but I like that. It's done tastefully. It's not too much. It's not like way too much bass or anything like that. Just pushed up a little bit. So it's done tastefully. And mid-range is a little bit recessed, but it's okay. Yeah, it's not that bad. The highs on this I like better than the Focals, because the highs are not, super sharp or harsh or anything like that. So I don't feel like it's fatiguing like I did on the Focals. So I think overall I actually prefer the Beyer Dynamic DT1990 Pros, 199 Pros, 1990 Pros. Oh man, it's so hard. Yeah, I mean, overall, I just love this one. The comfort level is amazing. It's so dynamic, right? Because it's got the soft V curve. It just sounds better on a lot of like dance tracks, instrumental tracks, pop tracks, anything utilizing a lot of dynamic instrumental range, like a lot of dynamic range. This one sounds amazing. The soundstage, it's great. Yeah, everything, details, soundstage, everything's great on this. The vocals, yeah, maybe I might prefer it on some vocal tracks. Like the Carpenters, for example, like the two records I picked. The Carpenters, I liked it better with the vocals because the mid-range of the Beyer is a little bit recessed. But then the Earth, Wind & Fire, I like the Beyers better. It's more dynamic sounding, right? So really it's just a matter of sound signature. So that's it. I said for my money, these ones are cheaper, the Beyers are cheaper, and they're more comfortable. So I would prefer the Beyers a little bit more over the vocals. But if you find a good deal on the Elexes, you can't go wrong with them either. So that's it. Really, it's about sound signature. Yeah, so more dynamic, V-curve, V-shape, and then more of a neutral-ish sound signature with the highs pushed up a bit. So after listening to the Beyer Dynamic DT1990 Pros and the Focal Elexes for a few more weeks, I've actually changed my opinion slightly on them, and I think that's because maybe the headphones needed a bit of time to break in. I didn't realize that some headphones needed to be broken in. I thought it was mostly speakers that needed to be broken in, but apparently some higher end headphones do benefit from break-in. So yeah, after listening to these two for a few more weeks, I think it's interesting because the sound on the Focals, I decided to, I like them a lot more than before. So if you remember, I said that the Focal Elexes, the sound quality is overall, very, very good. It's very detailed. The soundstage was great. And so was the Beyer Dynamics. I said that they were about equal in terms of the sound quality, but the Focal Elexes, I didn't like the highs as much because it was a little bit too sharp, too harsh for me. Sounded a bit fatiguing if I kept listening to it. In the Beyer Dynamics is a V-curve shape. Right, so more bass, mids are pushed down a bit, recessed a bit, but the bass is pushed up a bit, and the highs are pushed up a bit, but done tastefully, right? So now, after listening to them more, my opinion on the Beyer Dynamics is still about the same. I do think that the bass on the Beyer Dynamics, if you like bass, then Beyer Dynamics will give you that, and the highs are very good in the Beyer Dynamics. The mids are a bit recessed. Overall, very, very good V-curve, like soft V-curve sound signature for those of you who like that. And overall great quality, soundstage, everything is great about the Beyer Dynamics, as I said. So my opinion on the Beyers didn't change too much. However, the Focals, as I listened to the Focals more, the highs actually became a little bit softer. And then I actually started liking it more. As I kept listening to the Focals, I just noticed it's actually more revealing than I expected. So yeah, the Elexes I think are actually sound quality wise a bit more than the Beyer Dynamics. I would say it's a bit more detailed, a bit more revealing, and a bit more dynamic. So after listening to the Focals more and more, I actually started liking them more than before. So the highs didn't grate on me as much. So yeah, so now that's where my opinion changes a bit. I think the Focals are actually probably the best out of all these headphones in terms of the overall sound quality. The sound signature, like I said, is more neutral. It's a very balanced sound signature. Just overall, if you were looking for a very balanced pair of headphones, like sound signature is very balanced. Nothing's like really heavily emphasized, but it's very, very detailed, very revealing. Just overall, I think for a audiophile reference type of headphone, the Focal Elexes are very good. And yeah, soundstage, detail, clarity, everything on the Focals I think is probably, well, the soundstage I would say it's about the same as Beyer Dynamics, but the detail and the clarity and the resolution on the Focals are probably the best. As I listened to them more, yeah, the highs got better, got softer, wasn't as harsh anymore to me. So overall, I have to say the Elexes are very, very good. They're the most expensive too, of course, but I have to say that the sound quality in the Focals are probably the best, a bit over the Beyers now. Now, the Beyers are still very, very good. So yeah, and if you like bass, then the Beyers definitely have a more pronounced bass than the Focals do. Some people say that Beyer dynamics are overly too harsh or bright sometimes. That's not in my experience. I think that these Beyer dynamics are, these DT1990 Pros, the highs are just right. They're not overly sharp, at least not to me. Like for me, I thought the focals initially were more sharp to me. Maybe it's because of the coiled cord. It adds a bit more capacitance, which tames the highs a bit more. So it could be that. Haven't tried the straight cable yet. But yeah, to me, they did not sound overly bright or harsh. But yeah, if you're looking for overall, you know, sound quality, I think the focals are probably the best. And then the Beyers after that. Yeah, for the soft V curve, you know, for those of you like that, the Beyers are very, very good. Yeah, so I think that's going to be my end conclusion here. Is the Beyer dynamics very, very good for people who like bass. Beyer dynamics will give you a lot of that, not too much. Like I said, it's not like Beats or Bose or Sony or anything. They don't push up the bass way too much like on their consumer headphones. So it's just very tastefully done bass. Highs are very nice. Mids a little bit recessed, but still there. Overall, very good detail, sound quality, etc. Focals, if you like the Sennheiser HD650s, Focals just gives you more of that. More detail, more revealing, better soundstage. Maybe not quite as neutral as the Senns, but very close, very balanced still. Yeah, so nothing is like really overly emphasized on the Focals, I think. So for me personally, I still prefer the Beyer dynamics a bit more because it's more comfortable, and I actually like to have a little bit more bass presence. But those of you who want a more balanced sound, more neutral reference quality sound, I think the Focals are probably the way to go. So that's just my final opinion on that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.